So in this video, we're going to be talking about bank runs. We're going to be talking about stock market crash, how I'm personally preparing, and why I just got a whole bunch of cash from the bank to prepare for it, and what else I have done to invest and be prepared. So this is Jake Ducey with I Love Prosperity, and this channel is dedicated to helping you ensure your financial independence in a changing world. I want to let you know it's very important that you hear an alternate view and what I'm doing as a millionaire to prepare. So this is Jake Ducey with JakeDucey.com. Make sure you hit the like button on the side right over there. And let's dive right into this video on how I am preparing for all of this. So this is actual real money. I know all your little financial gurus on YouTube have all their fake money. I'm not selling you an online course. I don't have a business course or an investing course or anything like that. I made this channel. I didn't think people were prepared for the giant stock market bubble that could have popped by anything. Now we know, this virus stuff is what set it off. So first off, I went into the bank, try to get my money once I saw stuff was starting to go down, because in 2015, when in Greece, they had all these bank problems and they shut everything down. So you couldn't get money out of your ATM, you couldn't get money out of the bank. It's called a bank run. So the opposite of a bank bailout is a bank bail in, and that's when they don't let you get your money. And so in the short term, cash becomes king. In the long term, they kill your cash because they print a whole bunch of money with quantitative easing. So I've got quite a bunch of stacks of money, and I've pulled out many tens of thousands of dollars, and I'm gonna put them in private safes and different things like that outside of the banking system. Now, the hilarious thing about this is you're gonna see a pop-up right now coming up on the screen, and this is the central bank's Twitter letting you know that your money is safer with them, which nothing could be further than the truth, because once they declared the emergency situation, it means that the banks have a 0% reserve requirement, meaning they legitimately don't have your money. Normally they have a 9-to-1 ratio. If you give them $100 like this, they can lend out 900. But now they have a 0%, meaning this is, things are gonna get better. There's nothing to be worried about, especially if you prepare, and there may be some turbulence, but things will get better. This is why I save in this thing right here. This is called gold. Gold used to be backed by our currency up till 1971, until they wanted to go crazy on fiat money printing and print as much money as they wanted to buy up everything, let the banks get super rich, and enslave everybody with 17% interest rates on totally fake money. And all the banks and all the central banks and all the major countries, they save in this stuff, but they don't tell you that. And this is why I personally have saved the vast majority of my money in this stuff in silver, instead of in cash and all these mainstream investments that I was well aware there was a giant bubble that was about to go down. Now, why do I save in gold? Well, let's have a pop-up from Mr. JP Morgan himself, the guy who really created this modern banking system. And as you will read right here on the screen, he is essentially telling you that all the fiat currency is just credit. The only real money is gold. But they don't want you to have gold, because they want you to play in the fiat currency system so they could print all this money. The problem is, it's fine if everything goes okay and there's no turbulence. But the bad part of this is, if they have turbulence, they print tons of this. They really don't print it because a lot of it's digits on a computers, but they print zillions and trillions and quadrillions of this stuff. The problem with it is, it makes the value of it go down. So it starts shrinking, and it starts shrinking, and it starts shrinking. It's called currency debasement. It's what ruined the Roman Empire. Rome used to be based off of gold, and then they started clipping the gold and filling it up with copper and nickel. Now we do that in the modern era by printing a whole bunch of money and debasing the currency. So to prepare, everyone should have a little bit of cash. The reality is, though, if it gets worse, they will freeze accounts. They will do an economic freeze on accounts. James Rickards has wrote about this for a long time. You will get your money back, quote unquote, but they'll hold it until the banks stabilize. So it's important to at least, I think, have at least a week's worth of cash. I have a lot more than that because I have a lot more distrust in our economic system. That's just my personal view, and this is not financial advice. This is me sharing my own thing. So the first thing I did is get at least a little bit of physical cash. Second thing that I've done for a while, as this stock market bubble has been blowing out of proportion with this incredible amount of money printing and free money with low interest rates, because you think about it, if you just make tons of endless amounts of currency, what happens to that currency? You lose the value of it, and then all physical assets rise in value in proportion because the currency is worth less. So houses become more and more expensive, the cost of living becomes more expensive. And that's why I save in this sucker right here. This is an American Eagle right here. This is a, what year American Eagle do I have here? I have a 2008 American Eagle right here, pure gold. And this stuff is gonna go through the roof once the dust settles, because the only way they can solve, quote unquote, this crisis is to ultimately make negative interest rates and to print a whole bunch more money. All that's gonna do is kill the currency in the long term. This stuff is gonna go through the roof. Now you'll see flashing up on your screen right now is a notice from the US Mint. They have an incredible shortage of gold and silver right now, and they are stopping production due to the virus, which means once the dust settles here, it's gonna go through the roof, in my opinion. So what I do wanna say in addition to this is I am not buying this dip. You need to take these mainstream, especially I'm a millennial myself, but all these millennial YouTube financial gurus, you do not wanna listen to these guys. They're telling you to buy the dip. I watched some bozo a couple weeks ago, but showing all the stocks he was buying, all these mainstream stocks. First of all, you need to wait for the dust to settle, because for a lot of reasons. One, people don't understand. This isn't just about the virus. This is about an entire economic system that's been built off of cheap money at really low interest rates and tons of debt. So Boeing and all these airlines, the majority of all these companies have just borrowed billions of dollars because it's so cheap. And then they've bought back all their own stocks with it to fool everyone. And because most people just invest based off of seeing green arrows, stocks going up, instead of looking at price to earnings ratios, they see that even though the earnings are not good, even though these companies are levered in debt, everyone's buying them. So they fooled everyone. It's a scam. And so some bozos are telling everyone to buy the dip. That is propaganda by Wall Street. They want you to buy the dip because if everyone pulls their money out of it, they're the ones that ultimately lose the worst unless they get bailed out. So you're gonna see a lot of companies, if this continues, you're gonna see a lot of companies go bankrupt. Wait till the dust settles before you get your feet in there. Keep working on doing anything you can to pull more money away, to get ready, to have more savings available. And so don't buy the dip yet. And if you do, at least do your research. See how much debt companies have. Some bozo is buying all these like oil companies. A lot of these US oil companies are going to go out of business, first of all, because they produce oil at about $50 a barrel. They need oil to be $50 a barrel for them to be profitable. And right now it's at about 20. Russia does not need it to be $50 a barrel. So a lot of these companies are going to go bankrupt. A lot of them are levered with debt. So you need to not listen to the mainstream, and you need to be able to sit on your hands a little bit. Don't allow the fear of missing out. Oh my God, I'm gonna miss buying the dip. I need to buy it. Anytime you're in a frenetic state and you're not making rational decisions based off of looking at debt, look to price to earnings, I think that this has a lot the market has a lot further way to fall before the dust settles, and we'll recover eventually. And there'll be new industries that do great. Some companies will be gone. There'll be new companies. We will survive and evolve as a human race. And hopefully, after all these issues, it'll allow us to restructure a better economic system. That's what I hope. So last but not least, the advice that I would give myself, I don't have any debt, but the advice I would give myself, since I'm not giving you advice, I'm giving myself advice in this video, or I'm sharing my own advice, is to get out of debt. But I wouldn't go crazy on it. I would not spend all my money to get out of debt. There's going to be debt forgiveness and all these types of things, because a lot of people are losing their jobs right now. So I would put a plan together if it was me, but I wouldn't spend every dollar I had to pay off debt, because you're gonna want cash, either physically like this, or at least in your bank account. You will get the money back. It just may be worth a lot less by the time, if there is an economic freeze, by the time they unfreeze accounts, it could be worth a lot less. Because if they go print $100 billion trillion, think about it. That's why money printing and artificially low interest rates is bad. Because what happens is this dollar, just this $100, just becomes worth less and less and less and less. And then the cost of everything physical, houses, everything like that, gold, silver, whatever it is, food, it all goes through the roof because this currency is worth less. So last but not least, and something I always talk about on this channel, another way to be prepared is to brainstorm multiple sources of income. Now you can really see why the richest people in the world advocate for multiple sources of income, because you never know what's going to happen. In addition to that, there's only so many hours in a day. So even if the economy was rosy, there's still 24 hours in a day. So it's important to have multiple sources of income, especially one that are leveraged, so you're not trading your time directly for money, and it allows for greater scalability and greater long-term growth. So right now, we may be in a little bit of a holding pattern, but what always happens after economic crisis is it's the best time to start a business, especially businesses that people need. So look around, what do people need? And see if you can start formulating a plan while you're quarantined to put together a plan, or start to learn new skills, whether it's sales, whether it's digital marketing. Even if you can't really build the business right now, at least put a plan together so you're a lot better prepared and you can create more financial freedom easier and quicker in life. So in this video, we talked about all those types of things. Make sure you hit the like button on the side right over there if you've enjoyed this video. Comment down below, I am responsible for my own freedom. Comment down below, I am responsible for my own freedom. My other channel is a channel on spirituality, and spirituality is all about self-reliance. And I believe one of the cornerstones of self-reliance is finances. And that's why I made this new channel, to share what I'm personally doing. So will there be a run on the banks? It's clearly starting to already happen, as evidenced by this same tweet now popping back up on the screen right now as cued by my editor. And this is that tweet where the banks are trying to tell you your money is safer with them. They tried to talk me out of getting my own money out, because I withdraw, like, I don't want to tell you how much I've withdrawn in total, but a lot of money. And they tried to, well, first they wouldn't give it to me. And then I told them I was going to close my account and go somewhere else, and then I was going to get my money out from another bank if they didn't let me do it. So they put me in touch with the manager, and then the manager tried to use fear. Oh, are you sure that's a lot of money? You're not going to be protected. What if something happens to you? And because they're using fear because they don't want everyone to make a run on the banks. And so will it happen? I don't know. This isn't fear mongering. I'm not trying to make you afraid. I'm trying to help. I'm trying to share what I'm doing to help people be prepared. So consider getting some of this moolah. This is why I'm saving this, baby. And why I love this real stuff and this stuff on my arm right here. So gonna be a fantastic time to create a new business. Take some deep breaths. I know it might be scary and all that stuff right now. I'm telling you, once the dust settles, our world is gonna be a lot better. There's going to be a rude awakening for a lot of people, but that rude awakening might just be the thing that ultimately 3 to 5 years from now, you are going to look back and it's going to be the thing that propelled you to a whole new level financially, because it made you go, oh, now I understand why Robert Kiyosaki always says savers are losers, because they're printing money and money's so cheap, it kills our currency, it's worth less and less. Oh, now I understand why it's important to have multiple sources of income. Oh, I understand why it's important to not have 100% of my money in the mainstream investments that Wall Street tells me to do. Oh, I can do it. So make sure you hit the like button on the side right over there. Comment down below, I'm responsible for my own financial freedom. Comment down below, I'm responsible for my own financial freedom. And make sure you hit the subscribe button and the bell notification right over there. Again, I don't have an investment course or some like business strategy I'm teaching you in a course. I really am just making this channel because I really want to help people, and I've been lucky enough to become a financially successful at an early age, and I have a lot of different views on the world, and I wanted to share them and hopefully help them. Again, this is not financial advice. This is me just sharing what I'm doing. So make sure you hit the like button right over there and comment down below any steps you're taking to be prepared. Wishing everyone the absolute best. I do believe that we have a brighter future in humanity, and sometimes the dust and turbulence needs to happen to help push us forward and create a better society for all of us. I truly believe that is on the edge of the horizon and that there is a light at the end of the tunnel. Remember to tell everyone you love them. Remember to take deep breaths in and out. Remember to make a list of potential multiple sources of income and start working on all that beautiful stuff now to help ensure your financial future in a changing world.